Claims. Okay, let's start. We're ready to start, I believe. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. All right. Karen, you okay? All right.
Okay, first we have minutes from the August 22nd meeting for approval.
All right, any corrections or additions?
Motion to approve?
Second, all by aye?
Aye.
Okay.
I forgot, there's
Yeah.
just two of us.
All right.
Well, we have claims then for the period of August 19th through August 25th in the amount of $4,268,439.34.
Okay. Any questions?
Motion to approve?
I'll second that. All by aye?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We have a resolution pertaining.
Okay, this is pertaining to the move of 911 Center to Community Corrections Building. Resolution number 2023-10. Resolution of the Board of Commissioners of Eagle County, Indiana, approving relocation of the Vigo County Dispatch Facility to the Vigo County Community Corrections Building, renovations of the building, and purchasing of essential equipment.
Okay. This is to move ahead with what we consider to be really an urgent need. Had a special meeting of the council to get approval or tentative approval for funding, and it's really we've made a good option, and we're moving ahead with it very quickly now, which we need to. So I would make a motion to approve that resolution.
Second?
All by aye?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, now at this time, any comments from the public? Yes, come in, please. Please.
My name is Mary Vandebender. I live out in Evans Township.
Uh-huh.
I have Brittany Van Hook for my, I can't think what she is now. She's my
Trustee.
trustee. She doesn't live in our township. She lives in Indianapolis. She has told more than one person she lives in Indianapolis.
Uh-huh.
She told us she wasn't shutting our firehouse down, so she shut it down and wanted to go with Sealyville. We don't want to go with Sealyville because our taxes are going to raise 1.6%.
Okay.
They're trying to everybody sign a petition, but I don't know if everybody knows that it's going to be up that high. I want to know, why is she our trustee if she doesn't live in our township?
Well, I have heard that a couple months ago, and I checked on it, and she does live in the township.
Well, she just told a person this weekend that she doesn't live here, but her roots are here. So she's saying she lives in Indy. More than once we've heard it. She has done everything and lied to us about a lot of stuff. She told us you were going to be at the July 20th meeting, and she said that you never showed up. We don't trust a thing that comes out of her mouth because everything is a lie.
I don't think the commission haven't told Patty, and I think with the Attorney General's office and for Secretary of State, contact them. I think that's
Well, I've got all my paperwork from the things she has said, and she has put us through a lot.
go ahead and contact one of
Do you have a number for that? Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming forward.
Anybody else?
Yeah, sir, please.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name's Mark Miracle. I'm from Prairie Creek. I've got two things I'd like to discuss with you this morning. The first one, I'll show you a couple pictures here. These are a picture of the building located down in Prairie Creek. It's the old Masonic Lodge. The building was condemned by the county. What I'm asking is, the problem we have is every time there's a storm, part of the roof has fell off. You can see parts of it laying on the side of the building there because we've laid them there. The other problem we have now is the bricks are starting to fall off it also. I would like to know if it's possible for the county to find funds to tear this building down or to
Okay,
get some kind of action to take care of this building. It's a hazard to everybody around there, and we have kids riding bicycles, people driving by and everything, so if you would look into it, we'd like to have it tore down if at all possible.
okay, sure.
The
Looks like
second
it's-
subject I'd like to discuss with you this morning is Prairie Creek Township.
Uh-huh,
I don't know who the township trustee accounts to, but we've had a problem down there for the last 8 years. We have a community building that is in badly in need of repairs, and we've been trying for the last 8 years just to get the restrooms fixed. The latest instance is we have 2 restrooms. One of them has never been fixed. The second one was leaking, so they just shut the water off. Didn't do nothing to it. I don't know who the treasurer or the township trustee reports to, but I looked into the laws, and it says that any time that they've made their reports to the state, they're also to file a copy of that in the auditor's office of their actual expenses. There's never been a file made in the last 8 years by the current township trustee or his partner at the time. And I'd like to find out just what we have to do to get this building fixed and money expended like it should have been.
I can tell you too that townships never, in my recent memory, they haven't submitted paperwork to have a budget or a tax. I can tell you that in my recent memory, that township's not submitted the proper paperwork to have a budget or a tax rate either. They're just.
Well, my problem is it's not the question of tax break, it's the fact that who do they account to? I checked with the laws, and it says he has to file with the state a breakdown of his account. He does that, but it also states that he's to give a breakdown of what those expenses went to, and that's to be filed in the auditor's office. In the 8 years he's been in office, there isn't, him or his wife, there's never been a report put in the auditor's office. I checked that. Also, I understand he's supposed to be bonded. I don't know if he is or not. I can't find that out neither.
As that would be recorded in the recorder's office.
Well, who do we seed about getting somebody to move down there to get things done in our building and get our community building fixed? And who does he account to as far as his actions and
Contact the State Board of Accounts. They are responsible for auditing and
well, I've already contacted the state board about the fact that he hadn't filed any reports in the county, and they seem to, the auditor's office says they get a report, so they're not concerned about it. So I'm still back to the same situation. Who does he account to as far as his actions?
the voters ultimately.
I'm sorry?
The voters ultimately.
Well, he's been in there 8 years. How do we get something done? Well, who do I go to get something done? Well, I've gone through all these laws about from the state, and I still can't find anything that says who to go to as far as who he counts to and what. And I don't know who justifies or who verifies what he's required to do to be in office. First off, I know he registers and gets elected, and that's not my concern at this time. My concern is he bonded, and does who justifies his job?
Well, the voters justify his job.
I'm sorry?
The voters justify his job.
Well, there just seems nobody else down there wants to run that position, and that's the question I have too, is if nobody else runs and you put a person in there that doesn't do anything, what do we do to get things done?
Well, I understand.
We can't put anyone in there. It's not, you know,
No, it's up to the voters.
yes.
Yeah, I think you're doing the right steps. You want action, obviously, and I think you're going through the right steps. I'm just trying to think. The only thing I could think of is your township owns that building?
Yes, it's
Okay.
part of the township,
Okay.
and there's funds there available for it to be repaired.
Uh-huh.
It's just that we can't get nobody to move on getting it repaired.
Okay.
That's
That's
my
the only
own-
thing I was checking here. I just looking to see if it's county, I mean, that we could take some action if it was actually commissioner's property or county property, but if it's your township property, then we can't do anything.
Do you have township board meetings? Sir?
Your guess is good as mine on that one.
Well, you should have
I know it says they're supposed to have, but I've never seen one and never heard of one.
Well, we can follow up, see who's supposed to be on the board, and, and see if we can get some action. I help you with it. I mean, that's what we can do. We wouldn't be
So-
any different than you. We can't, I don't think we can force them to do anything.
Okay, and I still come back to one question I'd like to know is who does he account to? Or who does this trustee account to?
The Attorney General, right?
I
Attorney
mean,
General.
that's if he's breaking the law or doing certain
He's
things.
appointed-
He's still an elected official. People complain about elected officials all the time. The main remedy is to vote him out, obviously, but.
I
so it
understand that,
depends.
but if you can't get anybody to run position, it's been swinging back and forth, and I believe the commissioners here appointed the last one. Before this one, there was a relief of board. There was a change of county commissioner between him and his wife. One served on your board, and the other one took over the job of trustee then.
No, one didn't serve on our board.
Linda Wilson.
Well, she was not
Well,
she was not a
Fred Wilson-
commissioner.
Fred Wilson served on the board for a long time, I know that. In fact, one time he was president when I first moved down here.
Fred.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, he was county council, you know.
Yeah, I understand, yeah, okay, yeah. Requesting, it's your township and requesting them do it, and I think the lady, the other speakers having some of the same kind of problems. Trustees, a position that the state of Indiana has in their county governments, and
So to who,
when they don't, they're they're responsible for quite a bit, but then when they don't do their job, I mean, they intertwine with the fire departments and these community centers and what have you. And when they don't do their job, they have a tax rate, they have reports to file, and their own entity, they take care of your cemeteries and things like that. They have certain requirements that they are tasked with by the Constitution, right? By the state constitution. And when they don't do their job, then it causes these problems that you're talking about. But they don't report to the county commissioners. So, and you're asking who can cause your trustee to take action on these things. And like I say, he hasn't broken any laws. If the trustee's not going to take action on these, they're not going to take action on them. I mean, that's not, if they don't fix the restrooms in your community system, your community center, that's not against the law for
Well,
anything,
it's up to the people to try to
you know. So, and I mean, again, these things don't become important until your restrooms don't get fixed. And you have to have somebody in there that's willing to take some time and volunteer to be a trustee and take action on these things in your community.
Okay, in the meantime, so who do I contact to get things done? Or how do I go about getting things done if I can't get him to move on it?
Well, again, I think the first thing you need to do is try to find out when the board meetings are, and the township board meetings. Need to find out when they are. We can try to help with that and see if they have any scheduled. Regarding the building, real quick, I'll talk to the building inspector as soon as this meeting's done, and we'll see what we can do about
Yeah.
demolishing that building.
Please give us your name and phone number, and we'll get back to you on the building, because we may have it on our list. I mean,
I understand, and
we may have it in the process, I don't know.
well, my next step is to go down to the inspector here and see about him.
But I'll do
See
that.
what he said about things too. That was my next step.
Okay. But-
My first step is to find out who's in charge of him, who does he account to?
The
The
which
trustee.
the trustee, the voters.
Other than the voters, who does he account to? Because he's spending our money, but he's not spending it, it's just sitting there,
His board.
okay? So now I have to find out how to get a hold of the board,
Well, we should have a list someplace, shouldn't we?
okay?
Do we have a list of board, Jim? Yeah, I think we can get that.
Has the board got the approval, other than him, to do any work to our buildings or to do anything down there? Sorry, folks, but I don't understand all your Indiana laws about this thing.
Yeah, they should be running a meeting just like this one, with minutes and with approval by the board and what have you on actions.
If they aren't, then I think he could contact the Attorney General's office.
Right.
And say, look, they're not following the legal requirements.
I'm sorry, you have to, I have hearing aids.
I said, if you find out they're not following the law, then I think you could contact the Attorney General's office and have them look into it.
Well, my first step was when I went to the auditor's office to find if he'd made final reports on where he spent the money, and he hadn't. I contacted or went through the internet and notified the auditor's office, and I've never heard back from any of it. And that's my dilemma here, folks. I'm stuck with a trustee that don't do his job, and I can't find anybody that kicks him in the butt, to be honest with you, about getting things done. And I need to know what steps to take.
Have you contacted the Indiana State Board of Accounts?
The only thing I've done with the Indiana State Auditor's Office is notify them
Not
about
the auditor's office.
I've never contacted anybody else because I started here. I thought this was the first place to start.
You might contact the Indiana State Board of Accounts. They're the agency that goes in and reviews their work and criticizes them if they aren't performing it according to statutes.
Well, I've sat here and read all these rules and regulations that that the state government's put out about trustees. And it's very vague as to who he counts to whatsoever. I know he has to make a report to the state, but that state don't break down who he pays to do the things. All it does is what he spent total for each action. And there's nobody that checks to see that he does it in the auditor's office.
The Indiana State Board of Accounts is the state's audit agency, and they're the ones that's tasked
So in
with.
other words, everything is responsible to the state, not anybody within the county.
That's correct.
All right, thank you for your time.
If you'd like to come up afterwards, we'll get your name and, come up
sorry?
afterwards, we'll get your name and contact, we'll keep in touch.
I'll get with you afterwards, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Pointing out some things that are going on. Okay, any other comment? Elected officials today. I don't have anything.
I don't have anything either.
Lots of things on the table. Okay, we will recess. Thank you.